Hello and welcome once again to another brand new video by Top Gamers Guide. Today we will be talking about tips and tricks on how to get better at Valorant. All of these methods can be applied by anyone playing the game, and it's something I have done myself, which has totally made a huge difference for me now. And I'm even match MVP or team MVP 9 out of 10 games. These tips is something I used to become top rank while playing CS as well. Now, let's jump into how to get better at Valorant using these tips and tricks. If you do like this content, I really appreciate you taking your time to smash that like button, so I'm getting motivated to keep bringing you content on Valorant. First thing we'll jump into is that you should play all characters at least once. Playing all characters at least once can have a huge impact on your decision making while playing the game. Why, you ask? Because you'll have a complete understanding of each character available, and therefore you'll have a better understanding of how to counter them while being matched against them. Let's say you're playing an Omen and you got no idea why your map suddenly turns dark and all of a sudden you get shot in your back, understanding of each agent available. Next thing you should jump into is to practice one agent at a time. Although trying out all the characters once to get a better understanding of how their abilities work doesn't mean you should keep rotating between all of these characters. You should practice one character at a time to make sure you become as good as possible on that specific one. So find the agent that suits you the best and keep playing it till you become an expert on it. It is better to be an expert at one specific agent than being average on all of them. I for once have Omen as my main agent, and the fact that I played him so much now makes me able to throw all of his spells without having to think of distances and cooldowns, such things, and simply just doing it all by default. Which totally also shows on my match history and my KDR. So remember, practice one agent at a time and you will become an expert on it. Next thing will be to keep playing consistently. I couldn't stress how important this is. Making sure that you keep playing consistently is a big part of becoming better at the game, and the same goes for Valorant. You can spend 20 hours in a row gaming and shooting heads in Valorant and probably get better, there's no doubt about it. But if you played those 20 hours and then took a break from Valorant for a week, how much progress would still be there? I'd reckon not much. Each time you take a full day break, you'll have a much longer time getting into your potential form while playing the next time. So it's actually better to spread your hours and play 3 hours a day per week than sitting a boatload of hours playing and then take a break for a day or more. It's simply how your brain works. So just keep up the consistency with your playtime and you'll see progress much faster than you'd expect. I know a lot of you just want to get into the game and wreck, but it really doesn't work like that when you're on a high level. You gotta warm up. It doesn't matter if you become a master at your spells, but if you still can't find those heads, a player with a great aim will always come out as a winner against someone who simply knows how to use his abilities in a correct manner. So, how do you actually warm up in Valorant? Well, you simply go to the shooting range and practice with bots. Here you will be able to set different settings so the bots can respawn faster. You can give them armor or even make them move. You do this to train your muscle memory. You will want to be able to flick onto someone's head without really having to think about it, but doing this involves a lot of training, so before heading into a matchmaking server, always make sure to train on the bots in Valorant's own shooting range. The shooting range also has a section where you'll be able to train your spray with all the weapons available. I actually made a video about this on how to efficiently warm up in Valorant, so I'll leave it to that. Lower your sensitivity. Yep, now we're gonna talk about your sensitivity. If you don't have a low sensitivity already, you will probably need to change that if you want to get a really accurate aim, so to speak. Lower sensitivity will make your wrist movements very much on point, as your crosshair will only move about a quarter of the screen while using the wrist. For bigger movements, you will be forced to move your arm, which also makes your aim more stable. Now you might think, Who are you to tell me to change my sensitivity? And yeah, you might be right. But then I would like you to look at what the professional players are using. The most common sensitivity would be 0.45 to 0.9 between the professional players. And I have 3 examples of these, which are Shroud in 0.78, Skadoodle with 0.6 and Summit 1G with 0.47, which is probably the lowest one I've seen so far. And all of these players have 400 in DPI, so you don't need to worry about the DPI. 400 is standard, so you shouldn't have to change that. I know it might take some time getting used to changing your sensitivity, especially if you're used to a high sensitivity, but trust me, it will make a huge difference, and you should probably look into it. Now we're gonna talk about customizing your crosshair. When you start playing Valorant for the first time, you will get a standard, quite ugly and clumsy crosshair according to me. Head over to your crosshair settings and start customizing your own to your preferences. Once again, we will have a look at the pro players and what they are using. So, the most common is smaller, neat crosshairs, and we've seen most of them use the color white as crosshair color. However, I wouldn't recommend totally copying a pro player's crosshair to start with, and instead learn how to customize a crosshair that works for you. On our website, we have written a full article about this, so head over there, I'll link it into the description for you to check it out. Now we'll move on to the map. Using the map properly is important for so many reasons. You'll be able to spot enemies and see exact spot to make your own presumptions on what is going on. And if you got a team that isn't talking or doing all the callouts properly, you still will have a chance to know how to make your next move in the best possible way and adapt to what you've seen on the map. Just make sure you learn all the callouts on the map, because let's be honest, you don't want to be that kind of person screaming behind you or there. Because we all know that person, and you always end up panicking, spinning around in a 360 to then die from a totally unexpected angle. Another cool feature to start using the games like CSGO lack is the ping function available for the map. So instead of calling where you'd like to have a smoke and have it not quite the way you were hoping for, you can ping for your teammates exactly where you want it to be, and they can simply smoke it. Get comfortable playing with one position at a time. Why you would want to get comfortable playing with one position at a time is kind of the same reason why you would want to play one agent at a time. Play one position to get a better understanding of how to counter nades, smokes, and you'll also be able to try the same tactic against different players and teams, even agents. And eventually you'll become a master at locking down that particular position. Once you've conquered your position, you can move on to try another one. But keep it to a minimal. You don't want your gameplay to be cluttery and kind of be average wherever you go. Last but not least on the list, we have play with friends. So playing with friends, I guess it kind of says itself. It's more fun and you can progress and get better together. But also, once you have played with each other for a long period of time, you'll be able to understand each other and develop the same type of playstyle, which can be really helpful. See you and your friends as a team. You'll be able to practice executes and try out different combos to smash your opponents as a team while your enemies are flaming each other for not making the correct callouts. And if it happens that you don't have friends to play with right now, maybe your friends are still stuck with League of Legends or Counter-Strike, then head over to our Discord and we're more than happy to play with you, and our community is always looking for people to play with. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you have enjoyed it, please make sure to like and subscribe to our new channel. You can also join our Discord group. That would be so nice to be able to play with you, and we will set up some tournaments and do some cool prizes and stuff like that. So catch you later, and till next time.